Now what are we going to do is that we are going to create some sort of coloring action. Whenever we click on the tile here, that tile color is going to change. Now you can see that whenever we are going to click on the tile, now nothing is going to happen. So for that, I'm going into the piano here and I'm going to add a component and name it as a tile action, and script is created. And in this script, in this tile action script here, I'm going to create a function of the name void on mouse over. What it do is that whenever a mouse is on that certain object, it detect it and applies some sort of function to it. Rather than we can use the raycast method, but this method is more easier than the raycast method. So for that, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to simply, first of all, I'm going to create a public sprite renderer. So for those who don't know the sprite renderer, let me create it first and I'm going to tell you. And where is that sprite renderer? And I'm going to name it as the color. So basically, each game object has a sprite renderer attached to it, which changes the color to it. So we are creating that sprite renderer and we are gonna pass the reference to that renderer so that we can change the color whenever we touches it or we click on it. So I'm saying that if or if we touches that, we are going to change a sr dot the dot color is equal to color dot sorry, not this one, color dot yellow. So whenever we click on any piano here, let's see that it because it should work. Uh, I think we haven't passed the reference yet. Yeah, we haven't passed the reference. We need to pass the reference first, and I'm going to pass the reference here. And let's see. Now you can see that whenever I'm dragging my mouse on any of the tiles here, they are turning to the yellow here. But we don't want that. We want whenever we want to click on that tile. So let's go back here, and I'm going to say that in this mouse over, I'm going to say that sorry, if input dot get mouse button down, where is the mouse button? Get mouse button down. Whenever we click it with the left click, it is going to change the color. Now let's see what happens. And you can see that whenever I press click on these tiles here, the color is changing and now they are working good. And yeah, now we got some pretty cool action to the game here. But this position here is making me giving me some headaches. Now let's see what happens. Yeah, we have got some pretty cool animation to the game. And yeah, that's pretty cool. So I think I'm going to delete these. So let's head back and try one more time. Let's see how many I can do. Good, good going. Now you can simply add up the speed here. What I'm going to do it at the end. So basically now our code is working. So the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to check whether these piano tiles are colliding with this border here. They are of color yellow or they are of color white, because when they are of color white, they are unchecked and that thing need to be stopped. That game need to be stopped. To detect the tiles that have been touched or that are not touched, we need to create some sort of action to it. So in the piano here, we have this tile action script here. Sorry, double click on it to open it, tile action it. And I'm going to reload all and I'm going to save it. Okay. In the tile action, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create some sort of Boolean function void on collision, enter, and 2D. And in this, I'm going to say that collision 2D call here. And what this thing is passing some reference to this call here, and the call, the CUL, have the value of this collision, what it is colliding to. So first of all, I'm checking that if color dot color is equal to color dot yellow. When that thing is colliding with something, and if that color is equal to color dot yellow, then we are going to say that debug dot log you are fine because we are fine. We don't need to end the game. And the next thing that I'm going to check is that else if the call dot collider dot tag is equal to border here, and I'm going to say that sorry, debug dot log, and I'm going to say that game has ended. Let's head back into the Unity, and why I have done is that I have created the tag border here and placed it to the border here and check it to the border because I have done it while I was sorting something out. So you should create the add a tag of the name border, and on this border you should name it to the border here. So now let's see what happens. And you can see that the white element, when they hit the console here, game has ended, game has ended, game has ended. And when we click on them and they turn yellow, you can see that nothing happens. One, two, you are fine, game has ended. Whenever we click on the yellow here, now you can see that yellow, yellow, and yellow. Sorry, two yellow, you are fine. So basically now this thing is working and it is working fine as we want it to work. So we have created, so now let's have a little recap about the things. We have created spawning action. We have created some sort of detection element algorithm so that we can detect which element is destroyed. We have spawned the enemies one by one, the tiles one by one. We have implement the function on which we can change the color of that tiles, and we have detected whether we are winning the game or not. Let's add some sort of score to the game. So after adding some sort of score, we are going to create some sort of menu panel or UI UX of the game. Then we can add some cool animations or functions to the game.